Whatever else it may be, the Quran is no work of history. That is a comment from Tom Holland. And today we can improve our English by looking into this interesting topic. So let me ask you a comprehension question so you can listen closely and try to find the answer. The question is, what happened after he published In the Shadows of the Sword? He being Tom Holland. Okay, let's start with a little bit of a biography of Tom Holland. Tom Holland is an English author and popular historian who has published best-selling books on subjects including classical and medieval history, and is best known for his works on Christianity and Islam. I'm going to skip a little bit. You can go to the article and read it for free in full on the website. Let me just skip to the last paragraph. In addition to his books, he has worked with the BBC to create and present historical television documentaries and radio series. He now co-hosts The Rest is History podcast, which I enjoy watching. I think it's a very good podcast. Okay. He wrote a lot about the history of Christianity. We're going to skip that and go to the section called In the Shadow of the Sword. One of Tom Holland's most famous books, In the Shadow of the Sword, is about the fall of the Roman and Persian empires and the rise of Islam. When Tom Holland used the historical method in his research for the book, he concluded by making several controversial claims about the history of Islam. One was that the Quran or Hadith was not mentioned in any other text until centuries later. Another was that the earliest surviving biographies of Muhammad were written almost 200 years after his death. And then he said, this is a quote, "There are angels and other gods in the biography of Muhammad. So why should we believe that the account of Muhammad's first great victory is any more authentic than the legend of the siege of Troy?" Siege of Troy is Greek mythology. Let me just finish the section on In the Shadow of the Sword. Tom Holland received death threats and required police protection following the publication of the book and accompanying documentary, Islam, the Untold Story. Okay, as I said, there's a lot more in the article you can read, more comprehension questions and key vocabulary. So you can look at the website and get all of the information there. Did you get an answer to the question, what happened after he published In the Shadow of the Sword? Now, if you find this topic interesting and you want to discuss it with others, you can by joining the members area, where you have unlimited video calls and text messaging and whatnot. You could also book a lesson to discuss this with me. There are some discussion questions. The first one, do you have any questions about any of the vocabulary or grammar in this article? Okay, that's a standard question I put in every article because we're here to improve our English, but we're also here to learn about English history, English culture, and discuss interesting topics that affect our lives. Okay, so one of the discussion questions is, have you ever learned something new about a culture or history that was very different from what you previously thought? Um, we're all brought up with traditions that uh, may may not be based on some kind of truth. Um, this is why I like travel. When you stay away from your own country for a long time, you can see it from a different perspective, especially when you go back. Some people call it reverse culture shock. Um, so have you ever had reverse culture shock? Have you ever been away from your country, come back to it, and been surprised about the culture? Anyway, we can discuss whatever you want. Don't forget, signing up for the website is free, and you can post your answers or comments on the website. So I think that's that for today's lesson. See you on the website. Bye bye.